Frog in the house, the grind begins, turning gears where chaos spins. Lights flash hard, the night's alive. You doubted once, but we thrive. Grinding gears, told you so. Through the highs, through the low. Frog is back, feel the roar. We're the storm, we're the core. We're the core. Button smash, the screen ignites. Shadows dance in pixel fights. You said we'd break, we'd never last. Now we're the future, not the past. Told you all you wouldn't see. The grind is where we're meant to be. Grinding gears, told you so. Through the highs, through the low. Frog is back, feel the roar. We're the storm, we're the core. Hear the hum, the gears don't sleep. We're the secrets the dark will keep. Laughing loud as the haters fade. Grindhouse bells, a legend made.
Yo, what's up, everybody? How you doing out there? Not the video I wanted to make, man, but I have to get these. As you can see from the title, we got some talking to do today. Yeah, and I figured, I'm definitely feeling in some sort of way, so we got to go live and talk about this. So hit that like button as you're coming on in here, grinders. I'm sure you're pissed off as well to this horrible news. Just right out of the blue, and after considering what an incredible state of play they had last week, they just come not set up the chips, knock them down, and they knocked them down. This is just, anyway, as you can see from the title, Sony shuts down BluePoint games. BluePoint, as you know, made Demon Souls and Shadow of the Colossus. Shadow Colossus, I love that remake of Shadow Colossus. They were known for their remakes, and today we find out from Bloomberg. I'll go through the article that they shut them down, and got some other details, things like that, to share with everyone, and we'll talk about it here. So hit that like button. Get those fires ablaze, because we're not pulling any punches, because this is some horseshit right now. So what's up, Mad Joe, Don John, Crooked Vulture, everybody be mad. Yeah, Media Molecule stays open, don't get it, dude. Herman, yo, he has some answering to do. D Para, what's up, man? Are you crazy? No way. Yeah, they did shut him down. Daniel Laurent, how you doing? 6 more of the OAs in the house. What's up, man? Mary Wilcox, Ron M is here. Line them up, baby. Nelson Gaiman, member of 40 months, baby. That's awesome. Thank you so much, man. He goes, Herman is turning into Herman Ness. It's BS. Dude, it is. Yeah, so just let's start right to it, because there's no coding this thing. PlayStation shuts down Demon Souls Shadow of the Colossus Remake Studios. It's a lot. And if you remember, this is what really gets everybody's Gears Grinded. They were working on the live service God of War title that was canceled in January of last year. So just keep that in the back of a back little nugget, right? So today, Bloomberg says that PlayStation has shut down BluePoint Games, the studio behind the remakes of Shadow of the Colossus and Demon's Souls. This comes from Bloomberg, which confirmed the news that roughly 70 employees are going to be impacted by the closure when it officially occurs next month. Quote, BluePoint is an incredibly talented studio team for their technical expertise and delivered exceptional experiences for the PlayStation community, a PlayStation spokesperson told Bloomberg. Yeah, they could blow. We thank them for their passion. Yo, please take that PR and shove it where the sun don't shine. According to the previous report by Bloomberg, BluePoint was working on a live service God of War game until January 2025 when the project, spell check yourself, IGN for ignorant, was canceled. The studio then spent the last year pitching new projects, but ultimately was shutted down before getting one moved. BluePoint was founded in 2006 as a former Retro Studios employees. Proceeded to work on a number of PlayStation games, including several collections, God of War collection, Metal Gear Solid, God of War collection. Yo, the stuff writes itself, Herman. Herman! It writes itself. They worked on the God of War collection. What was announced not even a week ago? The God of War trilogy remake. Oh, please. 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 I would love to go to these companies and just flip over tables. All of them. Idiots running these places. Idiots! God of War collection, Metal Gear Solid HD collection, the Uncharted Nathan Drake collection. It also served as a support studio for ports games like PlayStation All-Stars Flower and Titanfall. But BluePoint's claim to fame was the 2018 remake of Shadow of the Colossus, followed by the 2020 remake of Demon's Souls, which were highly praised and critics by fans. They were ready with a launch title. It wasn't until Demon's Souls that Sony acquired BluePoint, the Gears on the start grinding now, in 2021. Under Sony's management, BluePoint did some co-development on God of War Ragnarok, but otherwise did not release or announce any new games. So you could see the recipe for some from roasting. That's right. One Piece 999 member of 41 months. Thank you so much. Ultimate Grinder in the house. We got the Ultimate Grinders in here. This news brought in the Ultimate Grinders. The top tier Frosted Glass Grinders are now here because of this. We have another Ultimate Grinder, 6 Madura, 46 months. The hypocrisy of these higher-ups are clowns. The Ultimate Grinders are coming down from the Frosted Glass balcony to grind those gears. That's how you know the Ultimate Grinders are coming down. They're coming 3 floors down. And then we got Cyber Dragon, a VIP grinder from the balcony. The 2nd floor. He says, "Sup, mod chats," and your host, Jed7780. What are we doing here? That's right, grinders. The grindhouse is 3 floors high. They're coming down from the 3rd floor to hear what the hell's going on. That's what this news did. They kicked down their Frosted Glass. Ultimate Grinders are coming down here. So what the hell? The balcony guys are hanging over going, what the hell's going on down there? This is what's going on. Yo, what's up, frogs? Listen, I don't know where to begin, but I'm going to begin right here. They were working. First off, they made the God of War remake. And these guys announced, "Oh yeah, baby, we're working on the God of War remake trilogy." And not even a week later, you shut down the studio that is like the remake studio. So you actually have your Santa Monica studio jerking around with some remake trilogy, Corey Balrog working on a game, a studio of 5 people working on some 2D goddamn God of War, and you have a studio sitting here right here with BluePoint Games, and he just said the work started soon. The work just started on the God of War remake trilogy, and you shut down the studio that does remakes and had incredible remakes in Shadow of the Colossus, but you're going to take resources away from your Santa Monica studio to work on some bullshit remake. When you got BluePoint sitting there, 70 people that could do a remake and not take away from Santa Monica and put full force in Corey Balrog's game and get that out here. No, let's split up and then have another 10 dudes working on that 2D goddamn game. You have BluePoint sitting right there. I would give them the God of War trilogy remake. They made the God of War collection and say, you know what, Corey? You know what? Those 70, 80 people that are working with TC on the voice capture, BluePoint's going to do it. The rest of them are coming to you to get your game out faster. Herman, I'm right here. Hire me. I don't need to deal with shirts, you dumbass. Like, I don't understand where these executives, I don't know what the hell they're doing. And this thing keeps coming up. This thing keeps coming up and grinding gear. These disgusting words. You think exclusive is bad words. You think exclusive is bad words. These words keep coming up in the PlayStation rigmarole. Every time there seems to be an issue or a closure or a canceled game, I always see these two words show up. I always see them. Don't you? They pop up all the time. Live service. Every time a game's canceled, studio closure, game's slowing down. These two words show up all the time. I see them. Live service. This pivot, whatever the hell Jim Ryan and Herman made up one night at a dinner. I don't know what the hell they did, but these words pop up all the time. I see bad news. I see bad news. I see bad news. And then here comes the words live service. Do you see the same thing? Hit that like button. You see the same thing. They play golf gaming, but I always see these words come up. Oh, they're shut down. We saw Studio Bend. Dude, I want to be, they're lined up next, Studio Bend. Live, because they were in the conversation with the BluePoint cancellation. But cancel this God of War live service game. But Bend was working on something else, and they had a live service game that was canceled, but they were supposedly working on something else. But again, live service. And what I don't understand is just looking at the zoom in right here. The words BluePoint and live service God of War, I remember we grinded our gears last year in January about that. Herman lost all the buttons. Dude, Herman is in a full hooded t-shirt right now. He is a full hooded, shame face down. He don't deserve to get buttons undone right now, Herman Holtz. Herman Holtz better be fully clothed with a hoodie on. I don't even see his face. That's how ashamed he should be. Last week running around without no shirt on, trying to talk about cooking. He should be in a full parka right now. I want to see his face. Because I remember we talked about BluePoint. We're like, BluePoint? What? They make great remakes. Everybody thought they were going to make Bloodborne and all these games that could be remade. Instead, they put them on some live service horseshit. Jim Ryan must have been senile when he's talking to Herman Holtz. He must have had too much pudding go to his brain. I don't get it. BluePoint's live service? Who? On live? What? That's not what they do. They remake games. They don't do this. But these words come up all the time. And with another thing, see, this kind of feeds into why I was roasting them 2 weeks ago. With that Horizon horse shit. What is it? The Horizon running around in stupid cartoons. That comes out. Dude, get out of stop. It's too early in the day to get Huggy in here. But enough. That's why I thought it was so weird. And then you got Marathon. Get ready for the Bungie disaster that better not be. Because that's going to be more egg. He's going to have 3 eggs in his face. Horizon Concord's Gathering. Thank you, Unknown. That's exactly what it is. That's why I'm like, if you're out of live service, then get the hell out of it. Every time you're out of it, you keep bringing yourself back in. Oh, we're changing, pivoting the live service. We're not doing it anymore. Oh, but here's Horizon Hunt to Gather My Balls. Who? What? Just on the heels of Marathon. Yeah, all I see is more live service announcements when you were supposed to be getting out of this. And dopey bastards, I don't know why you put BluePoint on a live service God of War. And you just announced a remake of God of War last week. You're making the trilogy. How do you not keep those 70 people at BluePoint to work on it? I don't understand. But you making a live, like, oh my God. I would love to be a fly on that wall when they were talking about these 13, 15 live service games. I would have slapped them all. They would have had like, dude, it would have looked like Charlie Chaplin slapping everybody in the head. Oh, let's do a God of War live service. Oh, no, what? We should do some live service, a BluePoint work on. Reverb. I'd be smacking clowns all over that friggin' meeting room. They'll be getting backhands. I won't be giving them forward hands. They'll be getting some backhand reverb. Smacked off the back of the head. Let's give BluePoint some live service game. Smack off the head. That's what I would have done. I would have said, sit in the corner and think about what you just said, sir. I don't care if you're in a full-ass suit. Face the wall and go count to 50 because you are a clown. Well, but I just said BluePoint does live service. That's another 50. Stand in the corner, face the wall. Don't look at me with that dumb face. That's what I would have did. I would have gave slaps across the... Who thought that was a good idea? Who? Who? Totokiness? With his dumb ass? Who? Who would have thought that? Whoever agrees with him, go stand in the corner next to him. Because that's where you belong. Go face the wall. Don't look at me. You're going to make me dumb by looking at you. Keep your dumb ass and look that way. Because you're going to make me dumb. The dumbness is going to come from you and rub onto me. Because that's stupid. That's what I would have said. But they went ahead with it. Jim Ryan printed out his cookies. He's now in the asylum. That's where he belongs, nutcase. But what further grinds my gears? Point number 2, the live service thing and God of War remake being announced a week apart grinds gears number 1. Gear number 2 is this one. This gear. Where's gear number 2? This gear. This one right here. They have great claim to fame. 2018 remake, Shadow of the Colossus. Then the launch title in 2020 of Demon Souls. Incredible. Then here it comes. The thing that I think we all could look, we're looking back on it right now, right? We're all looking back on it right now. This acquisition bullshit. This acquisition season, buy up all these companies, consolidation. Everybody got to be bought. Everybody running around like the $1 Million Man. Everybody's got a price. Everybody running around trying to buy up like hungry hippos. And it probably stemmed from the COVID stuff, probably stemmed from Microsoft desperate as hell. But everybody, Tencent, Embracer, we've seen it every day. All these clowns, all these stupid companies that just bought up all these studios. Because the studios were worried about their longevity. They took the umbrella package and got sucked up by Tencent, Embracer, Microsoft, Sony. Everybody was sucking up all these studios. You made a game? They said fire, so Firewalk, Fire Sprite, fire my ass. Everybody gets bought. Fair Games, where's that? Haven Studios, Haven gone. That's next. Everybody had to buy up everybody in the early 2010s, the 20s. Everybody's scooping up everybody. Oh, acquisition season, buy this. Have we, I don't think to this day, have we seen these studios better because they were acquired by Microsoft, by Sony, by Tencent, by Embracer. Instead, I hear about more closures, more canceled IPs. More games not coming to us because these stupid ass companies, Tencent, Embracer, Sony, Microsoft, just bought them up just to make some news, to get some stocks up, to make it look like they're doing something. That's what happened. And they bought up all these developers. Oh, let's buy Bungie. Let's go buy Fire Sprite. Let's go buy BluePoint. Welcome to the family. All we saw on Twitter was, welcome to the family. Welcome to the family. Welcome to the families. Embracer buying Tomb Raider. Everybody buying everybody. We saw Volition go down in the gutter. We Tomb Raider all over the place. Everybody's buying everybody. Sony, so in 2021, let's go buy them. They bought Firewall for Concord, who they shut down. Now they bought BluePoint, who they shut down. Didn't produce a game. You could say Concord released, but then they made some bad purchases. And who the hell knows with Haven Studios? I think that's number 3. And Studio Bend, they better look out because they're done. I don't know how you sit around. They better be working on some project or they're next. Because they were in this part of announcement of BluePoint when they got these games canceled on them. And this is Sony going, oh, well, we want the live service games, but we're still going to push them. And we're shutting down these studios. So they spent a year. This is what's crazy. They stopped working last year, January. They canceled their live service God of War game. Just to go a year later and say we're making God of War trilogy remake. I can't get this out of my head, grinders. I can't. A year later, after BluePoint, who makes remakes and does a incredible job, a year later, you shut them down and fire them. And the 4 days before you fire them, you announced that Santa Monica or somebody is making the God of War trilogy remake. What are we doing here?
I don't know. Like, I'd have to go back and look at the...
Are you kidding me? You're telling me all of last year, nobody sitting around that PlayStation piece of shit meeting room was like, you know what? I like to do a God of War remake trilogy. Let's get TC back in here and do the voicing and stuff. I think that's a great idea. That's wonderful. Who can we work on it? Well, BluePoint stopped working on the God of War live service. Whoever that person is should be gone. They're sitting here in January of 2025 when they don't have an assignment. Why don't we give them the God of War remake trilogy? And Corey now could get his staff back. Neil's in the penthouse. Congratulations, Neil. 28 months, baby. That's right. Grind is all cooking. We're all cooking. Get in here. Hit that like button. Get all in here. Get cozy by the fire. But does this make sense? Yeah, baby. We're cooking. Development is real early now. You're pulling from Corey's team to work on some horse shit remake? You got him right there, BluePoint. Hello? Nobody said, hey, why don't you do BluePoint? Why don't you let them? Unless they wanted them gone. But you're the one that bought them. And this is the thing that drives me insane. Leave them alone. This is what I never understood about this acquisition season. Leave the developers alone, and you developers are stupid. You're stupid, all of them. All of them during this acquisition season to be bought up by these companies. You're dumb. Because you lost your identity. Once you got bought by the company dictates what you're going to do with them. And you don't own the IPs, and you got nothing now. BluePoint is blue nothing. Blue balls. That's what they are. BluePoint is blue balls. They didn't release anything in 5 years. Oh!
I don't know. Like, I'd have to go back and look at the...
It's crazy. You bought them. They made remake Shadow of the Colossus in 2018. They made remake Demon Souls in 2020. And then you go buy them in 2021 and they haven't released shit. And it's 2026. Why did you buy them? To make them do some janky ass God of War live service thing? That's right, Swagbag. That's what they are. That's what happened. Sony bought them and gave them the blue ball treatment. That's what they said. Well, you pumped out 2 games in 2018 and 22. 2 years they were coming out 2 games. Sony buys them in 21. They ain't do anything in 2026. Like, this shit writes itself. Look at these years. They were fine, but leave them alone. They were cooking. Every 2 years was a new game. Maybe if BluePoint wasn't purchased by stupid-ass PlayStation and Sony, maybe they would have had 4 games out already. Of course, Seawolf, this is not them. This is because they sold their soul to piece of shit corporations. That's why. Microsoft did it with all their studios. Are they better? Compulsion Games, were they better? Sony bought up these studios. Look at their purchases. Bungie's face down, ass up. Who knows what's going on with them next month? We'll see what Marathon does. That might be another slap in the face. Concord was a disaster. They bought the studio to make this game. Herman loved it, and they came out with less than 2 weeks. And then they shut down the studio months later. And now, here go BluePoint, another acquisition. Who they bought, they canceled, we want you to do for God of War. Why would you buy BluePoint for God of War live service? They don't do that. But they did it. And then they shut them down. The 3 days after they announced a God of War trilogy remake. And this is the remake studio. Tons of things. They worked on PlayStation All-Stars. They worked on ports of Flower, Titanfall, Nathan Drake collections, Metal Gear Solid collections, God of War collections. They worked on all the collections. Instead, you're going to have Santa Monica work on a remake? BluePoint does remakes. It makes no sense. I can't get over it. God of War remake. They're working on God of War live service, making God of War remake. But they buy them. They buy them in 2021. And this is the thing that drives me crazy. It's like they buy them for this. For what? For what? To let them do nothing. Now, the thing I'll say is, so I don't know, Michael's saying about what about Insomniac? The thing about Insomniac is that they had a pathway because guess what? They had Marvel funneling their ass. That's right. Insomniac had IP. They just pumped out Marvel. Marvel, go. Your Marvel studio. That's what Insomniac is. They're a Marvel studio. Oh, and then do a Ratchet on the side. But Herman Holtz oversees all that. How could he look at BluePoint and say, look how many games Insomniac's pumping out. We haven't done anything with BluePoint since 2021. Like, the dichotomy between the studios is ridiculous. That's Herman's job. Do your job, Herman. Herman! Do your job. But that's one studio. That's one diamond in the rough of shit. Because I could list, for the one Insomniac, I could list 4 studios that they went bonkers with, did nothing with. Studio London's another one. After Jim Ryan said, here, eat my cookies, he shut them down because they were supposedly working on a live service game. The Studio London. They shut them down. Like, what is going on? Studio Ben's hasn't done anything since 2018. Media Molecule, who knows what they're doing? Like, but those were already in their cards. They already own them. It was this whole acquisition stuff that happened after the friggin' COVID. Everybody was welcome to the family. Welcome to the family. Those purchases have not really done well, except for the Insomniac one, which happened in 2019? Insomniac? It happened before. These post-2020 acquisitions, these are the ones that when Embracer and Tencent and all those clowns got involved. But this is just insane. And then let's go to the Herman email. Oh, God. This Herman email. And I see the live service here, down, and I say it all the time. Let's go to this. Here's Herman's email. I want to share an important update from the studio business. As I mentioned in the December Town Hall, 2005 had strong highlights within PlayStation Studios. Yote, Death Stranding 2, Helldivers, MLB. At the same time, we're operating increasingly challenged industry environment. Rising development costs slowed industry growth. Changing player behavior and broader economic headwinds are making it harder to build games sustainably. So wait a second. Now, are we saying changing player behavior because of games like Fallout? I mean, like Fortnite? Like, is that what he's referring to? Because people want to play these service games and get lost in them, and that's it? Slowed industry growth, but they're selling PlayStations at a rate of the same as the PS4. So what's the slowed growth? You're putting your games on PC. Like, these things don't make sense because the numbers don't show this. Because Sony, unfortunately, your numbers now counter this point. You sound like Phil Spencer here. Phil.
I don't know.
You sound like dooming, slow player growth, people playing different, but you had great success with Yote, Helldivers, a service game, Death Stranding 2, a single player game, Yote, single player game, MLB, a service game. So wait a second. Are we doing bad or are we doing good? Because you just said we just did 92 million consoles. What do you mean? We're not slower than the PlayStation. No, that's him deflecting and blaming everything else for their bad, stupid corporate decisions. That's what it is. Instead of saying, dude, Herman, I messed up, Herman. Herman, me, I messed up in betting on live service games when Jim Ryan said that's what we're supposed to do and Hitoki-ness. Like, I messed up. I pivoted studios that didn't have these strengths, and I tried to create somebody into something that they're not. I messed up. Me, Herman Holst, I messed up. And I'm messing up again with Cartoon Aloy as well, but I'm not going to say it. I messed up. We all messed up. Hitoki, me, Jim Ryan, we all messed up because we made you studios do something that you are not strong in, and we try to make a mountain out of hay, and it fell apart. We messed up. It's not the industry growth because you announced 92 million consoles. It's not player behavior because single players games are still selling even in the world of Fortnite. So don't give me this horse shit. Your revenue, all this, everybody buying games, we all doing good. It's because Hitoki-ness wants to save a buck. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, Hitoki-ness, you better watch your ass because that Horizon game ain't doing anything. Play test and no play test. Media Molecule, Studio Ben, disaster. But executives messed up. They bet on black and they hit red. That's exactly. Blame it on the table. Blame it on the roulette table. Blame it on the roller. Blame it on the casino. But you bet on black, and everybody went to red. And it landed on red, and you want to blame everybody else while you lost your money. Well, you bet on the wrong color. You said black, it rolled red. Oops. Oops. You bet on the wrong table, and you could blame everybody here, but you the one that put it on that. You went all in. You went all in on the numbers, and it rolled double zeros. So don't give me the doom and gloom of the industry. Enough of this horseshit. Everybody making money. But here it is. At the same time, industry, that's Hitoki right there. Hitoki shutting it down. Rising development costs, slowed industry growth. Rising development costs. You are making God of War remake. BluePoint, 70 people that make remakes could make that game. You're the one that's saying, well, I want Santa Monica to work on Corey's game and a remake and this and then a passion project. Like, what? Oh, we're getting a Herman song. See, well, there's a Herman song coming. And then there he goes. To navigate this navigate this reality, we need to continue to adapt and evolve, taking a close look at our business to ensure we're delivering today and still well positioned for the future. As a result, we're closing BluePoint. Yo, that makes no sense. If I was sitting there reading this email, I would be like, that makes no sense. Why BluePoint? Why are you taking it out on them? Like, why would you? This sounds like a you problem. Why is BluePoint the scapegoat? Right, Bend, Media Molecule. Yo, how much money Media Molecule suck it up? And Studio Bend since 2018. It's like, yeah, we're going to go to BluePoint. Look what they do. They made 2 bangers. What do you mean you let them? They didn't produce. You gave them the God of War live service assignment. They came off Demon Souls remake, and you said, yes, well, excellent job on the remake of Demon Souls. And here is God of War live service game. They're like, huh? Can you imagine being BluePoint and the president of BluePoint getting hired, and you sign over that check, and you're like, excellent job. Maybe he's thinking, oh, we're going to do Demon Souls 2 remake, right? Yeah, we did incredible Demon Souls 1. Now we'll do Demon Souls 2, right? I got something to tell you. I think we're going to do a God of War live service game, and BluePoint, you're doing it. I'm like, what, Herman? Yes. We just finished Demon Souls remake and for the PlayStation launch. Maybe do Demon Souls 2? No, that's a good idea. I have the great game for you. God of War live service. We have a whole bunch of Kratoses running around going, ah! What? That's great. Online, and you do the net code, and we have PlayStation. Herman, what the hell are you talking about? We did Shadow of the Colossus. And then Demon Souls, we're doing Demon Souls 2, right? Or Bloodborne or something from your IP, right? No. I've been talking to Hitoki. I'm talking to Jim Ryan. And we think a great opportunity for you. God of War live service game with 20 Kratoses running around, going, swimming around. It's great TV. It's wonderful. Huh? But we never did an online game. Like, we never, that's old school. We helped. No, this is wonderful. We have a whole bunch of blades of chaos swinging around. And the kids will be, everybody go, this is great. I can see it right now. This is wonderful. I'm doing the same thing with my Aloy. We have all Aloys, red hair, a blue hair, a purple hair Aloy, a yellow hair. But then we'll do Kratos. We don't have any hair, so we'll make him have different color face paint. We'll have red face paint and blue and purple Kratos. And they have different pants. They have blue pants and then black pants and white pants. This is wonderful. And they're online and all the kids can pick Kratos and they all go, and they fight. BluePoint, that is you. Make this a reality. It's like, what the hell are you talking about, Herman? This is some horse shit. Why did you buy us? No, this is wonderful. Dude, what the hell? Makes no sense. It will work, trust me. Yeah, trust you. 2020, 5 years later. Yeah, everything's tough. The industry is hurting. It's hard to make games sustainable. I got to make those tentpole titles. It's a little hard now. So, yeah, we're firing BluePoint. That's right. Herman, who? That's right. Yeah, I said it's hard, and BluePoint, give me blue balls. Oh, this is it. And shut them down. It just comes out of the blue in this email. It's like, it's hard to make games sustainable. BluePoint, you're gone. Who? Why them? Why them? It's just random. It just comes out of here nowhere. It's all tough, but BluePoint's gone. The remake studio. Meanwhile, all PlayStation you've been cooking is friggin' remakes. You remade Last of Us 30,000 times. 1 and 2. Remaking everything. Oh, we're doing God of War remake trilogy. We're going to we remade Uncharted again. Remastered this. Remastered my ass. You're making all remasters. And BluePoint, who does remasters and remakes, you're gone. Why? Makes no sense. Exactly. BluePoint catching straight. Exactly. He wants to shut down Bend, but he's working his way up to Bend. He's like, at first I got to shut down BluePoint, and then Bend, I'm coming for you. You better bend over because Herman's coming. But it's just like randomly, like, yeah, that's why the industry's tough. We're firing BluePoint. Why? Meanwhile, Haven Studios sitting there without Jade Raymond going, yo, shh, don't say anything. Be quiet. Haven Studios lives on. Fair Games is gonna. Haven's chilling. Yo, shh. Maybe Herman forgot that Jade Raymond left and we ain't been doing shit for the last year. We have no boss. Maybe Herman forgot about Haven Studios. You know, Haven's sitting there like at the table going, yo. So everybody slowly go to the bathroom, pretend we're going to walk out one at a time here. Letting the Herman not find us. You forget that Jay Raymond left and we don't have a boss. We ain't been doing shit. Don't bring up anything regarding fair or games to Herman because he come over here. So everybody just stand up, look around, just go to the bathroom. We'll meet later. We'll have some brunch. Dude. Fair game. Yo, Haven Studio sitting there. They don't have Jade Raymond. They have no boss. They have no studio head. I don't know what they're doing. They just probably, Herman's like, I'm trying to cut down budgets. And he's looking at the thing. He's like, I'm trying to cut down the budget. Who's drinking all this coffee? Where's this coffee and these crumpets going to? Every time I'm looking at the invoice here and I have to show it to Totoki, I look at the invoice and I see all this coffee and all these crumpets and Dunkin' Donuts and Starbucks orders. Where's this going? I have to explain this to Hitoki. Hitoki, these coffee and crumpet orders. Where's this going? Yo, it's Haven Studios, man. They're like, yo, Dunkin' Donut run, get out there. But we just had Dunkin' this morning. Bitch, that was breakfast. We're doing lunch now. Go get Dunkin'. Yo, Jade's gone. We got nothing to do. Herman has the invoice. He's sitting there going, 30 donuts in a day. Who's eating all these donuts? He's like, I have to call up Phil Spencer and order booty coffee because that's cheaper. Hitoki can then see that. Hitoki, look, I've saved money on our coffee orders because I'm using booty coffee. We can't afford the Starbucks now. It's hard making games. Dude, Haven Studios right now is like, they got the sweat dripping off of them. This decision wasn't made lightly. Of course, Aaron. You just threw a dartboard. The dot's like, yeah, BluePoint, you're gone. Get out of here. BluePoint's an incredibly, give me the glaze and stuff. Incredibly talented team, technical expertise, delivered exceptional. Where possible, we'll try to find opportunities for them. Oh, shut up. You're talking about the unemployment line, you dumbass, Herman. While I know this is hard news to hear, I'm confident in the direction that we're heading. What? Creativity, innovation, and listen. Fuck out of here. Creativity, innovation, and building unforgettable experiences for players remain the heart of PlayStation Studios. We have a robust roadmap for fiscal year 2026 with much look to forward and whatever. Herman Holtz, you suck. All right, so get your Parker on. You better be head down, shame. I want the walk of shame out of there. That's what I want to see, Herman. I want to see you walk of shame. When that PlayStation bum sees you walking out of Sony headquarters, you better have your head down in a Parker, face down with a friggin' hoodie on, and nobody see your face. No 3 buttons undone. I want to see you walk. Our PlayStation bum go, who's that mystery? He better come walk. Yo, I'm going to show you right now. This is who Herman needs to be. I'm going to show you right now. This is Herman, 3 buttons undone. Man, watch this. This is gonna be Herman right here. I think this is him right here, the masked man in WWE. There it is. This better be Herman. No 3 buttons undone for his ass. This is Herman right here. Not the CRV. Here's Herman. This is how Herman should walk out of PlayStation Studios, like this. This is you, Herman. This is how you walk out of PlayStation Studios. I don't want to see your face. I don't want to see you on your yacht. You better be full covered up like that. That's what that's Herman right there. Head to toe. You went from 3 buttons undone and no shirt. That's what you look like, Herman, right now. That's you. Firing goddamn BluePoint after announcing remake of God of War. You take your dumb ass. That's how you walk out of that. PlayStation bum took this picture. I want to see. That's what Herman looks like coming out of the studios. That's right. Forget the buttons, Tats. You just see the glazing of his eyeballs. That's all I want to see. I just want to see the eyeballs. That's it. That's what he gets. That's all I want to see. The Herman glaze. I just want to see his eyeballs. Buttons undone. You get no buttons undone. The PlayStation bum spotted him. He's like, yo, there was a masked man walking out of PlayStation Studios. I don't know who that is. The last person I saw going in there was a shirtless Herman Holtz. Shirtless Herman Holtz went in there. And this masked man comes out walking out like this. Dude, that's BluePoint can be throwing tomatoes at him. Insane. But it's just like, dude. It is so just disgusting. See, this is 3 buttons undone. Man, he always sent me the 3 buttons undone. Dude, it is. Yeah, you had Herman like this. Last week when PlayStation was cooking, Herman like going around with it. This is how he looked. Where is he? You saw him on the thumbnail. No shirt on, Herman. But it's just like, I don't get it. I don't understand why. Yeah, like, oh my God, it is so crazy. And then you look, and it's like that Corey's working on. It is just, again, the live service has just reared its head so many times, and it has been a disaster. And I know Studio Bend was working on a live service game, and now they are in question. Because they had the same thing around BluePoint getting announced. So, yeah, it was a January last year. The Studio Bend got affected by this shift in live service as well. And then what's crazy, you kick yourself when it's like, oh yeah, just 2 weeks ago, Sony announced another live service game. Like, oh great, Horizon 1. Oh, Factions get canceled. You shut down the London studio. You shut down Concord. Now BluePoint. You got Marathon coming out. That who knows, that Bungie thing has been a mess. But it's just a shame because the studio's strength was doing great remakes, and what's crazy is that that's kind of what PlayStation's been doing. A lot of these companies have been making remakes and remasters and collections. And it's like the studio that specialized in this and their claim to fame was 2 big remakes are gone. And it was all part of this post-COVID acquisition season. And I hear the same thing when you see Tencent, you see Embracer Group. Like this whole consolidation that happened post-COVID, really, I don't understand it. But BluePoint was such a great acquisition for them because there were so many IPs that Sony could have done and could have taken, like just like how Nixxes helps out Sony do ports. They don't make the studio work on the PC port. They make Nixxes help out. So they make Nixxes help out so the studio doesn't feel the pressure of having to work on another project. How do you do that and leave BluePoint on its own? You didn't even give them a new IP. You made them say God of War live service. Dude, that was destined to fail anyway. God of War Ascension multiplayer sucked. That was like the worst God of War. Nobody wants God of War multiplayer. So what is a God of War live service game? Like, are you kidding? That don't even make sense. I remember us talking about it a year ago going, whoa, God of War live service. Like, are they just making live service anything? Like, I'm telling you, if you want to make live service with old IP, then you make PlayStation All-Stars. Like, you make PlayStation All-Stars. You can put all your IP in there. You can make collaborations with Sega, with Bandai, with Nintendo. Who the hell knows? And put with Bandai, with Capcom. You could do all different IPs and make it your own Smash Brothers. Like, you want to do service. Like, I don't know. But there's a billion other ways to think about how we can implement online and live service if that's what you really wanted to do. But taking God of War and turning it into that. Same thing goes with the Horizon. Look at what they did on Horizon. They had to do a whole different aesthetic. That's not Horizon. That's Saturday morning cartoon Horizon. Because you didn't want to tarnish the Horizon is the most impressive, graphically impressive game, technically impressive, and you turned it into Saturday morning cartoons. Because you want to turn it into a live service. Nobody wants to play multiplayer Horizon. Maybe co-op in the world that you built. But I don't want to play cartoon version. I don't want to play Saturday morning cartoons. And what are you going to do that with God of War 2? We're going to make cartoon God of War live service game, Fortnite? Fortnite looking God of War? That was your plan? After BluePoint does an incredible Demon Souls, like it was an incredible launch title for PlayStation. Still was exclusive. Never made it to PC. And they did nothing. 2018 released the game. 2020 ready for PlayStation launch. Sony says we buy you in 21 and you do nothing for 5 years and then we shut you down. And seriously, that live service game was cooking from 2021 to 2024, 25. That live service game. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. But what's crazy is the production's there, and then you buy them and nothing comes out. D, what's up, man? He goes, did I miss Herman? Herman! Oh, no, yeah, you missed it. I was yelling Herman in the beginning, man. I even did Herman's proposal to BluePoint when he bought them about making them make a God of War live service game. Thank you again. I appreciate it. Roberto Max says nobody gives a shit about BluePoint. Listen. Maybe you don't care about BluePoint Studios, but the thing is, and maybe some people don't care. Like, who cares what BluePoint's doing? But what you cannot deny is the way it went down. That's the thing, because this wasn't like they released something, they sucked, the game sucked, it wasn't polished, we all hated it, and then you know what? Sorry, your studio is not of quality. You're not making great games. We're shutting you down. That's not the way it went down. The way it went down was they were making kick-ass remakes, and then Sony buys them, and now that they own their ass, they tell them what to make, and they go, we want you to make God of War live service. Now their production goes from every 2 years to now 4 years of nothing. Then they say, well, we're not doing live service anymore. Bad idea. Oh, we're still doing it, but we're not going to do yours. And then we're going to make you wait a year, and then we're going to shut you down right after we announce the remake of the God of War trilogy. And we'll shut you down 4 days later and say goodbye. That's the kicker. Who cares? Like, BluePoint is a BluePoint, they'll find things. The way it went down. And it shows complete incompetence on PlayStation and Sony's upper management. Complete. I know, BV, but we're sick of remakes. Well, guess what? Sony announced a whole remake. The God of War trilogy. 4 days before they shut down the studio that does remakes. Incredible. It's a joke. It's disgusting. And that just points out the bad management. This is what's going on. The bad management. Bad decisions by executive people and the cost of games. They blame it on the cost of games and the non-growing market. You want to know why? Blow it out your ass. Because the market was so small and you were able to produce 3 Uncharteds. Like, come on, man. Like, really? You were able to produce all these God of Wars, all these Uncharteds with voice acting and mocap. Really? And now all of a sudden games are becoming more expensive. Yo, you did it with a small install base decades ago, making high quality games with mocap and Sony cameras, and you made all the God of War 3. You made and you made multiple ones. We had a generation of like 2 Uncharted's, 3 God of Wars, 2 God of Wars. We had 3 Gears of Wars in one generation. Now we're lucky we get the 1. So I'm done with this horse shit. Figure it out, do your job, and stop spending money on strippers. I don't know what they're doing. Is Herman going to the strip club at the yacht? But people better start putting money where it counts in the goddamn games. All right? I don't give a shit about your company and like, it's hard making games. Then get out. That's a you problem. I don't care about how hard it is to make games. Make the goddamn games. We didn't care about it back then. We didn't give a shit about it back then. 3 God of Wars, 3 Gears of Wars, 3 Halos. We saw the whole story in one generation. Now we got Naughty Dog jerking off making movies. Todd Howard gives more shit about his Amazon TV Fallout show than fixing friggin' Starfield. Oh, Fallout was big last year. What happened? Oh, we had the girl on the TV with Fallout and Amazon. They're filming this summer. Shut up, Todd Howard. Go fix your game. Neil Druckmann, goddamn Mr. Hollywood. Maybe, hey, you know what, Neil? Maybe if you would have stopped making stupid Last of Us on HBO, maybe you could have done Factions and Last of Us Part 3. And maybe you could have done that. Get your ass out of Hollywood, wipe your ass with that red carpet, and get to work making games, Neil Druckmann, because that's what your bitch ass is hired for. I did not hire your bitch ass to go make HBO. Neil Druckmann, you're hired as a game developer. Get the fuck off the red carpet and get back in the game studio. Do your job. That's what you do. I hired you to make games. Get out of Hollywood, get out of the champagne room, and get in the studio and start making games. Maybe you could have made. And that's the problem. All these stupid guys, they think that these developers all of a sudden became movie stars. Get behind the frosted glass and make my goddamn game. Get out of Hollywood, stop doing interviews, shut up, developers, and go do your job. Go make a goddamn game. I don't need to see your ass at no premiere of the red carpet. Your ass should be behind a computer making mocap of goddamn friggin' bring back goddamn Joel back to life. That's what your job is. I don't want to see you in Hollywood hiring actors, grabbing ass and celebrating with Pedro Pascal. No! Go make Last of Us Part 3, bitch. What happens? That's what I want to see. Todd Howard. Go fix your Starfield. Maybe we would have got Starfield 2.0 if your stupid ass wasn't worried about what goddamn Amazon Fallout looked like. Oh my God. And the one complain, it's cost so much money. How much money did you waste in Last of Us HBO? Go make the goddamn games. Because that's what happened. They got all glazed up by TV and Hollywood and movies and it's same thing with Nintendo. Get your ass out of Universal Studios and stop making the Mario ride and go make fucking Mario the 3D game. I don't want to slide down a green pipe in the middle of friggin' California. I want to play a new 3D Mario game. Get your ass out of Universal Studios and go make the friggin' games. Oh my God. I haven't seen more horse shit in the gaming industry than when games. Maybe you could go. I'm dragging Nintendo into all of it, you Argonaut. Nintendo got their ass so far up friggin' Universal Studios and TV shows. Go make a 3D friggin' Mario game. Don't give me Mario Universe remastered. The hell wants to play an old ass game when you bring out a new movie? Where's the new Mario? Stop worrying about Universal. You draw, well, factions are going to cost it's going to make our studio do, well, you know what? Stop grabbing ass with Pedro Pascal and get in here. Nintendo, we moved on to the gaming industry. At least Capcom doing their job. Hey, Ron don't like that.
Hey, Ron.
I remember, just like I chased out, what's his name? One of the other dudes. When I'm asking for a new Smash Brothers, I'm asking for a new 3D Mario game, you think Nintendo's all peaches and rainbows. Yeah? I'll remember, Aaron, because I'll be celebrating when Nintendo announces a new Smash Brothers, and I don't want to see you have a smile next to your name, because I'm going to be like you said, Nintendo was fine. So you don't celebrate new games with me. All right, Aaron?
Hey, Ron.
Because when I'm saying Nintendo needs to do something, everybody tells me Nintendo's good. Leave them alone. They're fine. Okay. Get ready. When they announce a new game, and I'm like, because you tell me they're fine. You don't celebrate with me. You don't celebrate with the Grindhouse when they come out with a new game. You don't belong. You go back to your hole. You don't celebrate with me when Nintendo announces finally something that I want. Because you tell me it's good. They're fine. They're fine. They're fine. Well, you celebrate with me then when I get the new 3D Mario game. You don't celebrate with me. But they're all worried about everything else. They're all worried about everything else. And it just drives me crazy about this whole whining and complaining about the gaming industry not making monies. And now they take it out on BluePoint. Your fault. You gave them the assignment. You told them to make something that nobody wanted. See? Well, Argonaut, maybe it wasn't you. You could celebrate then. The Argonaut, you could come back here and celebrate. It was the other guy. And Aaron. He knows where he belongs. Aaron. Argonaut, you could come back. You're welcome back. You're good. You could celebrate with us. Aaron, take a walk. And the other guy, when I saw him, he could take a walk too. Aaron know he's taking a walk. We know about him. What is this? Who's this? Double M Prod 1955 with the 70 goes, I hope Herman gets to boot. And whoever wants this Horizon Live Service game, I hope it tanks and executives start reading the room. Yo, he said it. I'm not saying I hope it tanks, but I don't think anybody wants that Horizon game. But thank you, Double. I agree. How do you say we're getting out of live service and then all of a sudden 3 days before your marathon live service game, you go drop Herman Holtz's Saturday Morning Fantasy? You know? I don't get it. Yo, dude, I don't listen, grinders. I'm a Nintendo fan. Chill. Chill. Yo, don't worry. Nintendo fans are welcome here. Hey, Ron, he knows where he goes. You come back. But I'm just saying, like, it is. I'm just so there's so much focus on making gaming bigger than what it was that it seems that it's taking away from the games. I don't know if you feel that same way, but I do feel like this whole like trying to make gaming on TV shows and parks and services that live on in these worlds, like it's taking away from the essence of what the games were and the fun of what they're supposed to be. And then, I think we all could agree they turned into so much of a business. That's why this live service push came. It's because they're trying to squeeze every dollar out of these they like, yo, there's people out there that spend $100,000 on skins. Let's get them. It's like, well, what about the people that just want to play a great game and a story and immerse themselves, or play like, you know, and have that experience? Oh, we don't care about those people, but those are the ones that live and die, that spend the money and buy the games and stay there and the loyal, and they buy your products. Like those are the people that matter. Who cares about little Timmy who spends $50 on skins every month? But that's the problem. They focus on little Timmy, and they're not focusing on the people that the real people that are spending the money. So they go, people's buying habits are different. It's like, yeah, because you care more about people that don't even know what you are. They don't even know who an Aloy is. But let's make it look visually appealing to that little Timmy on what Aloy is supposed to look like in a Saturday morning cartoon. Let's give the people that maybe are too young to see Kratos rip off heads. Maybe we'll give him a live service one where they're using purple blood instead. And and Kratos can run around online and chop down trees or something. The live service game. BluePoint, you could do that. And it's just, what? Stop. Focus on what works. Corporate, exactly, Guapzilla. Like, it's corporate. And that's where BluePoint now, we lose a studio who made some great remakes. And that was their specialty. And we couldn't wait for what they were going to do next and remake. And now Sony owned them to make something. And they bought them for nothing. Just to shut them down after giving them some stupid assignment in live service God of War. Like, that's where it grinds my gears. It's just the way it goes down, because that's not fair. And guess who loses out? Yes, the employees of BluePoint do. And that's a shame for them that they got to do that, because they got some crap ass assignment, but we miss out. And we lose out on BluePoint did. And they become a memory now. Just like these other Embraces and Tencents and Microsofts that shut down studios. These IPs, their legacy goes into the grave because of some corporate greed and bad decisions from higher ups. And that's what ticks me off about the whole thing. They're not buying any studios, Roberto. Come on, man. Herman Holtz just said in the email, it's getting, read his email. He says right here, increasing challenge industry environment, rising development costs, slowed industry growth, changing player behavior, and broader economic headwinds are making it harder to build games sustainably. Does that sound like somebody who's ready to open a checkbook to buy another studio? Look at what Herman's email is. This is Herman's email. This is not me. This is Herman's email. Does that sound like somebody who's ready to buy a studio? He's like, because of the industry growth, lack of growth, changing player behavior, we have taken a close look at our business to ensure we're delivering today what is well positioned for the future. So shutting down BluePoint is making them well positioned for the future. Listen, I'm not saying I know exactly what's going to happen. Maybe they open up a checkbook tomorrow. But if I'm reading the room and I'm an educated man on this stuff, I would say, yeah, they're think about it. Listen, I'm just reading with my two eyeballs here. You read this and tell me they're buying somebody. I don't know where you get that from. Because they just announced a remake of God of War and BluePoint wasn't on the cards for them. And they're not working on anything for the last year. So, I don't understand it. We do know what they're doing, Roberto. We do know what they're doing. They're shutting down BluePoint. That's what I'm talking about. We do know what they're doing. I don't know what they do tomorrow or tonight, but I know what they just did right now is they shut down a studio where they gave them a jerk-off assignment. And they were doing nothing. And then 3 days ago, they announced a remake to a trilogy and didn't use the remake studio. Instead, shut them down. That's the conversation. Not what they do tomorrow or at midnight or 1 a.m. in the morning. I don't know. I don't know when Herman takes a shit. All I know is that he's shitting up the place right now by shutting down BluePoint. And looking at their release schedule, tell me who the problem is. Look, 2018, 2020, they're coming out with 2 games. Sony buys them in 21. When's the last game they came out with? We're at 26. Tell me who the problem is. It's not the studio. Is that the studio problem? Shadow Colossus 2018, remake of Demon Souls 2020. Sony buys them. Welcome to the family in 21. 26, thanks. You did nothing. Goodbye. That don't sound like a studio problem to me. That sounds like bad direction and management. Bad decisions. And then we tack that on to what they did with Firewalk. No, I don't think they did. They bought them to make remakes. Obviously they didn't, because they're known to make remakes. But the first assignment they said was, here, you make God of War live service, which makes no sense. That's bad decisions. They did not cater to the strength of that team. So, I don't know. All I know is that they got rid of them. No, they made Concord. Fire Sprite Walk, whatever the hell they are. Fire Walk. Another one they bought. They bought them for Concord and fired them after Concord failed. That's what they did. They got rid of them after Concord failed. And we're seeing how well the Bungie stuff is going right now. Hopefully Marathon could save Bungie or do something, because that has been a disaster until recently, where they showed some decent gameplay and Marathon looks like it's getting back to where it should be. We will find out. What's up, Michael? He goes, I think they're pivoting towards working with other studios in a collaborative way. Maybe they feel it's more cost efficient. It could be like, what they did with the Konami thing, but, and what they did with the God of War, that God of War Passion Project, or even in partnerships. But, it's a shame. And maybe they are pivoting. They don't want to own these studios. Microsoft realizing that the hard way too. They bought all these studios. They got all this headcount. And what? It costs money to pay all those people to do stuff. But it's just it's just a shame. It's a shame. But I wanted to see a BluePoint something. I wanted to see it make something. I remember last year we were shocked about, like, this is what they made him do. And then Studio Ben's the other one. Herman said no to, they wanted to make, remember how bitter that guy is? What is his name? Neville, whatever the hell the stupid guy's name is, that he wanted to do a sequel. And they said, and Herman's like, no sequel to Days Gone. Instead, they gave him, what did they give them? Let me see. Let me double check. What was the game that was canceled from who was that? Studio Bend. What they made them? Studio Bend game cancellation. What was the game? Sony canceled an unannounced live service game, reportedly codenamed Mirapond, that was in development at Bend Studio, following a recent company review. This cancellation part a wider shift in Sony's live service strategy, leading to approximately 30% of studios facing layoffs in June 2025. The project Ben Studio was working on was an open-world live service multiplayer game, which was scrapped about after 3 years of development. And then let's see what BluePoint was. And then BluePoint was at the same time. The project cancellation associated with BluePoint was previously unannounced live service title set in the God of War universe. Timeline: the project was a reported developed for most of 2025, but was canceled in January of 2025. Likely a typo, so it was 2024. Given the current state as of February 2006, the cancellation would have been more recent and early 2026 or late 2025. After this cancellation, the studio reportedly spent the following period pitching various new project ideas, but none were approved before the decision to close the studio down. Studio mismanagement concerns. Industry experts and fans have cited the project cancellation and subsequent studio closure as an example of Sony's mismanagement. noting that the studio, renowned for its high-quality single-player remakes like Demon's Souls and Shadow of the Colossus, was forced to work on live service titles. That's what's going around. And I agree with that. That's exactly. And it's blatantly obvious. Like that's what it is. So I don't know. I think it's ridiculous, and it's a shame that they're gone. And you know, I don't know, man. And I don't know who's next. You know, I don't know. Maybe Studio Bend has too many people. Media Molecule. You got to. This is where you got to start thinking, right? You got to start thinking about, well, what about the studios that we haven't heard announcements from, like Media Molecule, like Studio Bend? Those are bigger studios, but like what? What's going on with them? Haven Studios. Haven. Jade Raymond left. When did Jade Raymond leave? Last year? When did Jade Raymond leave? What was that? They're still around because they bought them too. Remember? Jade Raymond Studios. They bought it for Jade Raymond. That's another studio. She left 9 months ago. There's another one. Shajan Schreier, man. Talking to those PlayStation bums are on it, man. Yep. She left 9 months ago. May 2025. After unfavorable external test for their debut Fair Games live service game, while Sony praised her foundational role, her departure came amid concerns regarding the game's development progress. Following her exit, Marie-Eve Denise and Pierre Francois were appointed as co-studio leads. So there you go. Fair Games. Haven Studios. PlayStation remains committed to Haven Studios with new leadership taking over the guide of the project. Project status: Fair Games faced potential delays with some reporting indicating it was delayed to spring 2026. Well, we're almost in March. And no word of Fair Games. And she founded Haven in 2021, and then Sony bought them in 2021. Who else did they buy in 2021? Oh, acquisition season. Yeah, great. Jason Blundell's is the Studio Bend. That's the one I just read. Kyle, yeah. David Seal says, I'm usually a Sony apologist, but this is a horrendous decision. It is. It is. It is. And what's a shame is that the studio had these studios, and again, these studios have no way to, like, they just get shut down. They didn't even release anything. But again, these words linger, grinders. I keep bringing it back. These words, and these words are continuing to have a connotation to them. We saw live service hurt Ben Studio working on a game. Fair Games, Concord. We don't know about the Horizon game. Oh, I love my Horizon. We don't know. That looks sus there. BluePoint was doing God of War live service. We've seen what happened to High God or Low God live service game. These words are going around almost like World War II shooters or or loot boxes. Live service is getting that name, the loot boxes. Like, you want to look the other way. Like, don't look at those words, because nothing comes good out of these gas games. You may have a gem, a diamond in the rough, but it's a risk. And I'm hoping, crossing my fingers, that Ben Studios is not next. I'm hoping that they're not on. They went acquisition season and now they're de-acquisition season. You know what I mean? I'm hoping they're not doing that shit. I really hope. Like, they're not looking again. And I agree, Roberto. Like, yeah, Marathon is good. You'll play it. If it's trash, you won't play it. Yeah. And go back to 2K and Arc Raiders and Battlefield. Yeah, I agree. That's what I'm doing. I'm checking out Marathon. It's looking good. But yeah. Functions. What's six moto? What's Functions? What game is that? Factions? You mean Factions? Fire Herman Holtz, D-Dog says. Herman, yeah, man. If you remember too, during this time, you know, Herman was like him and the other guy were kind of fighting. They were co-leads. Remember, they were co-managers. And then Herman lost out, and then the other guy, the hardware guy, took over. Man, I don't know, man. It's crazy, dude. Like, I don't know, man. I just hope more's not coming, and you know, because this is out of the blue. And it's crazy. It's like right after they had such great news and great stuff, like you're thinking like, oh man, because I remember when I was watching that State of Play, I was like, oh, and then you got BluePoint making something and Ben, and it's like, yo, maybe they're not. So, you know, unless they show it, who knows? Even when they show it, they could shut it down. Me too, man, Joe. Like I thought the same thing. I'm like, BluePoint, it makes sense. That made sense. Fair games and Firewalk, games that they never worked with before, that didn't make sense. They bought Haven Studios. Jade Raymond haven't put out a game in ages. They're still talking about Assassin's Creed for Jade Raymond. But Herman goes and buys her. Oh, Jade Raymond. Oh, yeah. I have Aloy, but then Jade Raymond. I don't know. But they bought them without proving their ground. Same thing. And look what happened with Firewalk. Fire Sprite, whatever the hell they are. Fire somebody. They fired them. That's exactly what they did. They bought them. They're all, we're making a game. Oh, okay. It was Concord. Like, those didn't make sense. Those were just like acquisition seasons. Like, that was like, but BluePoint made sense. Because they worked with them before. Housemarque made sense. Because they made games. And then Insomniac made sense. Because they made games with PlayStation before. They did incredible. Well, let's buy you now because you've done such great work with us. Dude, BluePoint was there at launch with Demon Souls. Like, yo, let's go. I'll buy you. You know? Those kind of made sense. And the fact that this one, but what didn't make sense was the live server. Why? And whatever they were smoking in 2021, the fumes are still around. Because that live service thing bears its head every time with PlayStation. It's like, yo, like I said, somebody went to the casinos and said, put it all on red 13 for 13 live service games. And they rolled double zeros. And they're like, oh, shit, we lost everything. Okay. We got to go make some changes. I put everything on red 13. Well, Jim, Herman, why'd you go put everything on red 13? Spread it out a little bit. You know? So, I don't know, man. Don't know. But that's what they did, and they rolled a zero. And it just sucks. But again, all you can do is react to what they've done. What comes out of this? What good comes out of this? Do we get an incredible game now from Bend or somebody else? And or now with the money, they go partner up with somebody and get a great game and a partnership? They shut down BluePoint because we're gonna you know partner with somebody and bring back a franchise. Then we'll talk about it. But as of right now, this is all we know. That's it. This is all we know and what was announced. What happens tomorrow? We don't know. Maybe this frees up his future and they partner up with somebody and they go make an incredible remake. And then we come back, oh, so that's why BluePoint fell so this game could walk. Who knows? But I don't know. And you don't know. But this is what we do know. And it sucks. So grinders. I know it's not a happy day, but you can hit that like button. For the Gaming Grindhouse. Support the Gaming Grindhouse here. Bringing you good news and bad news. You know, I bring all the news and put my twist on it and how I feel about it. And these are my hot reactions to this, feeling this way on this stuff. If it simmers, it changes. But no, I'm sick of this whole acquisition season and giving people not catering to the strengths of these studios, especially when you buy them. When you buy these studios, it's your responsibility. You now own them. You take care of them. And the same, I talk about this with Microsoft all the time. You own that IP. I always say with the Spider-Man quote, With great responsibility comes with great power comes great responsibility. You went and bought Activision, and you have all that IP. You went out and bought BluePoint and knew what their talents were. You went out and bought these studios. You own them now. Nurture them, grow them, make them better. Don't dismiss them. Don't make them go into oblivion, and don't shut them down. And when you shut them down, it's not because of their doing. It's because you didn't nurture them and bring and give them and cater to their strengths. And that's where we've seen this fumble all the time. And I've said it a number of times. We've seen it with Tencent, Embracer Group, PlayStation, Microsoft, all the time. We've seen it. They went out to spend the money to own them, but didn't nurture them. And they didn't do that. What's up, Liquidator? How you doing, man? And they didn't. And because of your lack of nurturing, your lack of giving them to catering to their strengths, they failed. They didn't even have a chance to produce. And they failed. And that's on PlayStation. That's on Herman. That's on the executive team for making bad decisions and not putting their studios that they spent money on to buy. It's different when you partner with somebody than you buy them. You own them. But they bought these studios to make them work on their bullshit. We need somebody to make live service games. 12 of them. All right, get BluePoint. Who else is it? Fire Sprite, Firewalks, and Fire Ass. Get them all in here. Buy all the fires. We need people to start making bullshit service games. That was the plan, it seems. Exactly, the OA. Imagine hiring a great sushiman and putting him on to make hot dogs in your kitchen. Exactly. And then fire him for not making great hot dogs. DOA, there he is. Shout out to Brazil. He knows exactly. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. And then they fired him for not making, you didn't make good hot dogs. Like, dude, I make sushi. Well, we put you on hot dogs. You do hot dogs now. Just because you bought me and you gave me hot dogs doesn't mean I'm going to be a great person. I'm a sushi person. That's right, Alvin. That's right. All of them. But man, oh man. Bad day, bad news. But hit that like button, grinders. Share it out. Subscribe to the Gaming Grindhouse. We hit them all up. You know, it is what it is. It sucks. I'm pissed. And yeah, this it is what it is. And we'll see what comes out on the other end. Maybe we'll be as hopeful as Roberto, and maybe they do, free up some money and partner and make a credible game. And then Roberto, I'll give you your flowers and say, yep, yeah, man, there you go. Look what happened. The bad news turned into good news. But until then, we don't know. And all we know now is that Sony going around making bad decisions, especially regarding this, and rest in peace, BluePoint, and PlayStation doing their thing with service games yet again. This has been a Gaming Grindhouse. Hit that like button, grinders. Talk to everyone later. Share it out. Subscribe to the Gaming Grindhouse. We'll be back tomorrow for more Gaming Grindhouse. I got some news. Todd Howard's coming. And I'm coming for you, Windows Central. That's right, Bootleg Central. You're next on my hit list. Let's go, grinders. Thank you again. Good night.
PlayStation FAFO, you're gonna learn the hard way. Talking is better, watch out when you fly too close to the sun. Just ask Phil, he got permanent tan lines on his ass. ask Phil, he got permanent tan lines on his ass. PlayStation, FAFO, you're gonna learn the hard way. Hickiness, better watch out when you fly too close to the sun. Just ask Phil, he got permanent tan lines on his ass. PlayStation, FAFO, you're gonna learn the hard way. Hickiness, better watch out when you fly too close to the sun. Just ask Phil, he got permanent tan lines on his ass. The hard way. Hickiness, better watch out when you fly too close to the sun. Just ask Phil, he got permanent tan lines on his ass.